Yeah, no, last night was crazy. Dude, I ran into Bella Thorne and we really hit it off. And just next thing I know, we were totally doing. Oh, I didn't see you there. Hey guys, it's me, the Barbarian Dung Collector. I'm back. Uh, um, Unfortunately, I did not end up with Bella Thorne because I'm a good Christian. I turned her down. She wanted it, and I turned it down, and that definitely happened. But in all seriousness, I'm fucking back. I know it's been a while. I just didn't feel like making videos lately. Just a lot going on. Really working on mental health a lot. I've really been doing a lot of mental health. Thinking about mental health, talking about mental health, just being aware of mental health, understanding mental health, acting on mental health. That's an important one that a lot of people don't think about. But no, in all seriousness, I'm back. And I have a cool announcement. And that cool announcement is that in February, God willing, I mean, things might change, but my general goal is that I'm going to be running a saga on this channel of Within the Ring of Fire. And I mean, if I can start it earlier, I probably will, but most likely it's going to be starting in mid-February. This is, and I know I'm just setting myself up for failure talking about it. I'm going to mention it and say a bunch of shit about it, and then it's not going to happen, and everyone's going to be like, you fucking cunt, like, you suck. Like, you talked up, like, yo, I'm going to do a fucking song, and then it doesn't happen. So I hope that's not the case. I hope that I do end up running it. Because I don't want to look like a jackass more than I already do. But this saga, and I do already have people who are interested, who want to do that, and it's going to be a game called Hail to Bale, and it's going to be a political saga taking place in the great city-state of Bale. Now, a lot of my players, or some of them, only one of them I know for sure has a solid grasp on Within the Ring of Fire and the deep lore that Andrew Wood has created, which, by the way, I do want to take this as an opportunity to say, Andrew, you invited, man. If you're interested, just let me know. Reach out to me on Facebook or Twitter. Love to have you. But most of the players currently confirmed. It's like 2 guys are confirmed, and then another guy is basically confirmed, but might end up being a no-go. We'll see. But most of them, 2 out of 3 of those mentioned, are not particularly accustomed to Within the Ring of Fire. And so I'm going to be making a series of videos. Don't worry, I'm not pausing Theological Brodex. That's going to be the next video I make. It's going to be episode 10 of Theological Brodex. I know that series is really popular on YouTube, and so I don't want to let you guys down. But anyway, this new series where I'm basically going to be doing a focused lore on Bale. Probably, like, I'm not trying to, like, make something significant here. This is really just for those players, but hopefully other folks enjoy it. Fuck it, I'm not going to sit here and, like, apologize and submissively piss myself for what I'm doing. They're going to be great. They're going to be great videos, and you should watch them because I'm great, I'm attractive, And 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 I have I'm a great guy. But anyway, so yeah, gonna be making this series of videos about Bale. Probably gonna call it Tales of Bale. And this is gonna be episode 1, where I'm going to give a brief rundown on Bale and some context behind it. All right, so adventurers, welcome. You have traveled far, it seems, from your homelands. It seems you hail from the far east, beyond the lands of ice and snow, in those legendary distant lands of orcs and goatmen. Well, rest assured, you shall find none of that here. For this is the kingdom of Thru. Now, the kingdom of Thru is a location in Kavagathail. It was once a kingdom ruled by the Farum. And the Farum, very similar, well, somewhat similar to D&D dwarves, the Farum are these stout men of iron who grow great beards to spite their creator. They're very anti-theistic, and they were traditionalist. They are hardworking, diligent, but nowadays they have been reduced to indigent savages who have been totally cucked by the Freyines, beautiful golden fae from the western lands of Rogeland. They have been absolutely eviscerated by the Vaigish, steel men known as the Hobgoblins, who live in a great dome of steel. And most recently, they have been conquered, taken over by the most evil race of them all, humanity. That's right. We rolled up on the fucking Farums. We found them. They were, in their guilds and whatnot. They let us come on our land. We bought up land, and we said, and we just took the whole city over. We took Bale, baby, in the glorious name of Pelgan, the god of conquest, the god of civilization, the god of masculinity. And so Bale is now ruled by humans, although humans are a minority within the city. And Bale is the capital of the kingdom of Thru, which is an ancient kingdom that is currently disunified. Not everyone has sworn fealty to the king of Bale. And who is the king of Bale? The mighty and ruthless King Bram. King Bram is a first-generation human, so he is ageless. You could kill him. You could stab him in the stomach or in the neck or in the eye or in the ass, but good luck getting to him because he has an army of loyal followers. He has knights. He has barons, and he has the Church of Pelgan, whom he is closely allied with his brother Vertex, another first-generation human, Vertex being the most human of all humans, who is a first-generation human and thus ageless as well. But King Bram, he is the progenitor of the tribe Bram, men and women of black hair, pale skin, and orange eyes, an ethnicity of humans who have had the very essence of darkness and perfection woven into their very being. And this is strong with King Bran, who he sees himself as this great figure. His end goal, of course, humanity. Pelgan wants humanity to conquer the world. And as far as King Bran is concerned, that human who conquers the world is going to be him. And the others shall have their seat at the table. The others shall have their territories carved out for them, shall be honored and respected. But at the top shall be King Bran, not the pussy willow policy, not the paternalistic ways of Sea King Eva, that licentious fool, not the lustful and foppish ways of the heretic King Deliria, who has turned to the worship of Bacchus, not the ways of King Lugend of Karth, that coward who hides in his castle. No, it shall be King Bran, the man who commands darkness, who commands death, who's doing a murder in the night on his enemies, and who rules with an iron fist. And so that is who the king of Bale is. And of course, he is a controversial figure. Even other humans in Bale, some of them do not swear fealty to him. He has military skirmishes between other groups in the kingdom, ogres who populate the hills and valleys of the kingdom of Thu, big, hairless red men who will crack you open like shrimp and eat your insides, and then fuck your wife and your daughters and your sons too. Ogres don't discriminate. And then there's, of course, the Ferms that I've mentioned, a bunch of indigent from ain't my king, King Bran ain't my king, fuck that son of a bitch. Standing up against the authority. And of course, as is the destiny of Ferms, they are getting trod down by that boot as their human overlords say, fuck you, and bring that down. And of course, you have others there, the Chthons, a turtle-like reptilian race who are often enslaved, though not in Bale where such things are illegal, but they certainly find themselves at the bottom of the totem pole, doing the dirty jobs, working in the gutters as they only deserve. And of course, the Iktomi, a race of spider people, Nazis, well, let me clarify. All right, the Iktomis are just absolute controlling it. They're spider people who control the fucking world. They run the world. They have the most advanced culture, and they're scary as fuck. They're fucking behind the human throne. Just, we will bring order to the world. Just Sith Lords without the emotion, just dominating. Among other things that you can find in Bale. And this is a kingdom beneath Bran are his 4 quarter barons as the city, and we're not talking about broader through yet. That'll come later. But the city of Bale, broken into 4 quarters. You have the royal quarter, which is known as the head, and that is where many of the rulers, the wealthy members of society live, and it is ruled by Royal Baron Arachne, the man made on Helena's day, Helena being the goddess of spiders and order, and Arachne himself being a rigid and controlling man of order, a man who supports the nobility, who is himself nobility, who rules with an iron fist, much like his king, Bran, whom he is deeply loyal to. And then you have the sword quarter, which is, of course, where the military is primarily based. which is ruled by the man himself, the manliest man, Vertex, Sword Baron Vertex, who is the avatar of Pelgan, the god that created humanity, Vertex himself being created on Pelgan's day. He loves humanity. By God, he loves humanity so much. Of all the barons, he is the one who cares the most about ordinary humans, but he is ruthless in his approach to life. He will dominate the fuck out of you. He will conquer you. If you are not human, he does not give a fuck about you. He will step on you. He will use you. He will abuse you. And then he'll toss you in the Red River once you're no longer useful to him. And speaking of the Red River, we have the Common Quarter, which is where many of the non-humans live. This is the most populated area of the city. In fact, the majority of the city's population, not just the plurality, but the majority, lives in the Common Quarter, where you find Pharaohs and ogres and chthons just all covered in shit and piss and filth, as they have been reduced to by their human overlords, and of course nominally ruling the Common Quarter's Common Baron Swiftwind, an adventurous man, a man who loves the river, a fisherman, a man not prone to the same ruthlessness and conqueror's mindset as his brothers, a man not nearly as given to politics as the rest of them, and of course the true ruler of the Common Quarter could be seen as Boss Burton, a great ogre crime boss, in fact the greatest crime boss in Cavagathael, the avatar of Cassador, the god of crime. Boss Burton runs the Broston Men, a street gang, the only street gang in Bale that disappears any other gangs who try to act as competition. Because when you in the streets in Bale and you fucking around, you getting crazy, you getting a little bit froggy, Boss Burton is going to send the Boston Man to sort your ass out. And then, of course, there is finally the Coin Quarter, which is the commercial center of Bale, and is the one quarter not ruled by a progenitor human, but in fact instead ruled by Keeper Bram, Coin Keeper Bram, Coin Baron Keeper Bram, as he's known, who is King Bram's eldest living son, who is now quite old, but a cunning man, very knowledgeable in the ways of trade and merchantry, a man who has been attempting to establish Bale as a proper rival to trade, and in fact, who in his remaining cycles desperately hopes that he will win out against the city of trade in making Bale the greater trade hub. Whether or not this happens is a different story. Now, there are other nobles within Bale. The head knight, the greatest of knights, Drake, a man of Nordic appearance, a strong, blonde man, blonde hair, blue eyes. I know one of my players kind of like that. You fucker, I'm just messing with you. But this great man of chivalry and knightly duty, who is sworn not to Pelgan, but to Zykinus, the dragon of duty and humility, and rules over a knightly order of secretive knightly knights. And you've got others, Smithson, great cook, John, a man of the earth, a man of the soil. Of course, Kalos, a man of war. And then there's Helios, but we do not speak of him, for he is in those alleys at night, a vampire he has become for his grave deeds, but that is a story for another day. But he is there with his sons, drinking the blood of the common fool they find. So Bale is a city constantly in conflict because the majority of the city does not like the leadership. But the leadership has just enough power where they have just enough public support where a properly trod boot can send a good message. And it also is the case that the rulers of Bale, though they have their disagreements, and although there are heated political discussions that take place, the fact is they're all human, they're all somewhat on the same page. Many of them worship Pelgan, and they all have very, very aligned interests. Whereas the common folk, who, yes, have in common that they don't like the authority, that's about all they have in common. You have the bearded pharaohs versus the clean-shaven pharaohs. The clean-shaven pharaohs, of course, being the ones who still worship their creator, death itself. And the bearded ones being anti-theists who fight and they God damn it, boy! You ain't gonna take Bale, we gonna take Bale back! Bam! Hit their enemy in the head with a warhammer. Goddamn! Oh, got you hit in the head with a fucking warhammer! Shit! Not fight breaking out. And that's not to mention the ogres, who are the most violent, rage-filled race in Kavagathale. Just full of anger. Just they're eating each other. They're fighting each other. And they often can't get along because if one ogre gets it in his head that he wants to be the alpha male, that he wants to be the guy on top, he's going to look at another ogre, and that's enough. They don't need political disagreements. It's enough to be like, you know what, fuck you. Fuck you and your fucking belt. Fuck you and your goddamn helmet. I'm going to bend you over. I'm going to fuck you in the ass. And then I'm going to take your belt. I'm going to take your helmet. And I'm going to wear your belt. And I'm going to wear your helmet. And I'm going to be the man. And you look at you. You fucking suka brat got the furagaba. As they argue and spit and put fists to face and boots to guts and cocks to butts, as is the wanton custom of the ogre race. So there's that conflict, the enemies of humanity, the enemies of the authority. What are they going to do? They can't come to an agreement. So there's nothing they can do. What else? Just trying to go for the basics here, because I'm going to get into specifics in later videos. Bale is a city, and the kingdom of Thur is a kingdom with a long and storied history. It was constructed by the pharaohs, and its most famous king was King Manticore, who was corrupted by greed, who transformed into a monster, who turned against his creator, and who was placed in a golden idol and carried away. And then it was, of course, King Bram who took over. When he took over, the pharaohs were in disunified guilds running the city. So the city has the old squat pharaoh architecture, the big haphazard poorly made ogre architecture, and then, of course, the grand, look how great we are, look how tall our phallic buildings are, the grand architecture of the humans. And if you don't think humans are obsessed with building massive phallic structures, go to any major city. Literally any major city. That's the throughout history that has been, anytime a human society has wanted to just make really big buildings that look really cool, they make huge, tall shafts. Such is our way. And you've got verdant, very fertile countryside, farmland surrounding the city, a great kingdom, but it's hard to control. There are a bunch of different power bases. It's a kingdom in name only currently. The only thing King Bran really for sure controls is the city, although he does control it with an iron fist. But the kingdom as a whole, that's a different story. And you have followers of the agricultural gods, Quillicalian and Velex. You have followers of Mul, the god of rage. And you have followers of Tahul, that old elder creator, death itself. So you have lots of conflict and lots of different interest groups, all sort of reflected in this massive city of stone and iron with its massive catacombs full of strange peoples and half-breeds and monsters and angels and demons and all sorts of powers that are within and just outside of the city and within the kingdom as a whole. I don't want to go on too much of a rant here because this is already starting to get kind of incoherent. I want to make sure that this video makes sense. So I'm going to get more into specifics in the future videos about this, about Tales of Bale. And look out for the saga Hail to Bale. Should be coming out in mid-February. I'm really looking forward to it. Again, I'll put that invitation out there for Underwood. We still got a slot or two open. Just letting you know. Put that invitation out there for Trevor as well, the man who cannot make a video to save his life. And yeah, thank you for watching, and check out for Theological Brodex episode 10, where I'm going to be talking about Agalma, who is herself has a notable presence in Bale. In fact, that might be the only city where she has a particularly strong influence, as she was created there. Anyway, enjoy your Friday, and if you ever see Bella Thorne, tell her that there's a good young, currently unemployed Christian man, conservative man who loves role-playing games, who would take great care of her. Yeah.